Good morning. We're here at the Stonewall Farm, and you see that in the background. And today we are doing the Cheshire Rail Trail North, heading towards Walpole. And today's a special day because we're gearing up to do a long multi-day trail. And today is kind of an experiment to see if my back will hold up for 20 miles and how the scooter does hauling a load. And so why don't you come along and join us and see what we can see.
Normally she's the one that stops for butterflies, but that was too good an opportunity to pass up. So the last mile or so has been really pretty, but pretty rough too. I mean, this is gorgeous here in the cut, but the trail is very bumpy. Of course, you keep getting to see things like that. Unfortunately, down in a cut like this, there's no wind and all the water is down here kind of stagnant. This is mosquito heaven. So the moment we stop, they say, look, it's buffet time. So we got to keep moving down here. The squirrels running up the rocks. It's pretty. How you doing, dear?
I'm hanging in there.
Okay. The occasional twinge? Okay.
So we're stopping for some lunch. And what I did was I took a bunch of salami and pepperoni, some ham, some cheese, olives, tomatoes, put it in a mason jar and added a little bit of Italian dressing for a meat salad. And it's keto, by the way. And we also have some deviled eggs. We have some cheese and crackers. And so we're just pulled over and gonna have a little bit of some lunch before we head on. We're about halfway down the trail. We're gonna go 10 miles and then turn around and go back the 10 miles. So we're at right around 5 right now. So I will have the recipe for the meat salad in the description below.
Because she's serious about her food.
Yep.
Here for a little rest break, I wanted to ask how the scooter is performing.
It's doing good. No problem.
Been a few rough patches back there, but that was more the terrain and the trail than the scooter.
Yeah.
I was also wondering, have you noticed anything with the trailer?
No.
It's not pulling to the side, it's not dragging you back?
I have not been able to. Honestly, I almost forget it's there. So,
That's good.
yeah.
That's what we hope. And then checking the connections. Everything is still good and secure. Welds are solid. So I think we got a winner.
I agree.
All right, well, let's pack it up and head on down the trail. So we're at this really beautiful little spot here off the side of the trail, and we have gone 10.1 miles in about 2.5 hours. So it's time for us to turn around. We've been watching the fuel usage on the scooter, and last we checked it was at 7 bars, which is exactly where it should be. It's supposed to have a range of 30 miles, and that would mean each bar would be 3 miles. And so at 10 miles, we should have used 3 bars. And so we're right on track for that. We're going to be watching it very carefully coming back, because we have had problems with running low on juice, and it depleted rapidly after a certain point. We don't know if it's going to do that or not, but we've been noting bug out points along the way. And when we get to the last bug out point, we're going to check our fuel, and if we are below, I believe we said 4 bars, we're going to stop, and I'm going to go get the car, and we're not going to finish. We're going to load the scooter in the car, because we don't want to be the last section. Really almost the first half, there were no bug out points, and there were some steep hills, and it would have been very difficult to get out of there without a car. So we want to make sure we don't get stuck back in the backwoods, because we don't yet have our last piece of equipment for our adventure, which is a generator that'll go in that trailer so that we can charge on the trail.
Hi. So David just asked me how I was feeling, and I'm hurting. Starting to get some spasms in my low back. The trail there, that first canyon where he was talking about there's no place to bug out, was brutal with the rocks and everything. There's a lot of jarring. And as good as this captain's chair is, it's still rough on your back, and especially when the trail starts doing this, so. But I'm not out yet, and I think I can make it back. But tonight's gonna be rough, I think. It's gonna definitely be a hot pad night.
So the question becomes, number 1, can the scooter do these 20-mile days? And number 2, can you do these 20-mile days? And we'll answer that question at the end of this video.
Yep.
And we also need to look at, can you do multiples of them in a row for our big adventure? So, heading out. So, Lynn was saying that when she leans forward is when her back is twinging. When she leans back, it's much more comfortable. And I pointed out that the tiller actually moves, so we pulled it back so that it would be more comfortable for her, but it's kind of difficult to do. But now she can sit back and drive, and hopefully that will make her more comfortable.
Hopefully.
she's mudding now. Okay, so we have gone a total of about 12 miles, and the battery indicator dropped from 6 to 2 and blinking in the last 2 miles. So we're going to use this road as a bug out point. I'm going to continue on, go get the van, and we will pick up the scooter from here and call this an experiment with a result. The result was it don't go 30 miles like they promised.
And this is one reason why I brought my Kindle.
Yep. So we will have to replan and rethink our big adventure, but I think we can still make it happen. So I'm heading back to the car to go pick her up. Okay, so crisis averted. We got the scooter back on the trail, or back on the trailer. We went 10 miles, we turned around, and before we had gone 2 miles, it had gone from 6 bars to 2 bars that were flashing. So obviously there is a problem with the battery indicator. So we are going to be looking into that to try and fix that problem. And if it turns out that we're just not going to get the 30-mile range that we thought this would get, then we are going to have to come up with alternative plans to try and make our big adventures happen.
I think I also need to look into getting a back brace. When the trail is very rough, it's very hard on my back, and I start going into spasms.
And there were parts of that trail that were absolutely gorgeous, and there were parts of that trail that were pretty rough.
Yeah.
My buns is hurting from the bicycle. I tell you, my legs are hurting a little bit too, because I pushed it pretty hard once the scooter gave out, because I didn't want to leave her sitting on the side of the road for too awful long.
But oh, what a gorgeous trail, and what a beautiful day.
It was a pretty trail, and it's definitely a gorgeous day.
So, thank you for coming along, and have a blessed day, and choose joy.